So this is basically what we're going to see tonight. It's a video that's premiere based on the training that we had last night. I'm going to be stopping the video and I'm going to be making comments as things move forward. And if you recall from last night, let's see if I can find this over here. We got, and by the way, this is just the agenda for last night. Masterclass, YouTube Masterclass, the 1% Creator Framework, where I actually show how I got 200,000 views in 28 days. And it's addressing these different 5 items over here. So let's go back to the video and see how well we're doing some of that stuff. I'll stop it again and we'll talk. So that's basically what we talked about last night. So these are the 5 pillars, and this is the channel. These are the views that we gotten. And now we're going to talk about the different theses one by one in part. So the 30% tweaks, as I explained on that, is basically you find an outlier. And after you find the outlier, basically what you do is you change it by 3% by changing the changing the outlier, the thumbnail, changing the script, and things of that nature. Okay, let's keep going. And that's important. Right now, you're going to be introduced to the scientific method. And basically, if you treat your channel as a laboratory, basically, and you kind of begin to ask yourself questions and have a methodical way to approach the you're delivering a video to your channel and to your viewers, you'll find that you continue to improve time over time. And that's important there. Find yourself a high demand concern, issue, or problem, especially, like I said last night, see a problem, fix a problem. See a need, fill a need. So basically, if you do that, you'll be able to always find an audience for what you are delivering. And if don't just do one video, do a series. Like right now, I'm doing a series on YouTube. It's taking me 5 or 6 videos to do that. So you want to do the same thing and be able to get some traction. That's important. And I've noticed that if you get an outlier and you kind of find a way to improve it, you'll get a consistently increased number of views in that channel, in that video, or in your channel over other videos. I have already experimented that and it does work. Like for example, the voiceover on that video is based on my avatar, right? So you create video and you begin to bring your own perspective into it. So that's what you need to be able to do. So let's continue on. Right, high demand, low solution problem, meaning that people are craving for that information. It is not a lot of it's a lot of demand, right? So for this low number of video, no, low number of creator actually providing that information to the public, okay? And that's what it is. Success is something that has been proven to work by by other viewers, right? Meaning that there's a high demand for that information. You take that and you repackage it. You make it better by 3%. 3% is a number, right? It could be 4%, 5%. But the point is you do something better than the previous video in the hope that some of the same kind of viewers will look at your video and say I like it and give you kind of views and gives you comment and things of that nature. Right. So small changes, right? So that's really important. You know, we're not asking you to. No one is asking you to create 100% a video from scratch, although that is possible. The problem with that is that you have no idea if that is going to work, right? You have no basis for doing that. But if you look at a viral video, right, it's called an outlier. If you find an outlier, a viral video, and you use some of that same principle, the essence of that video into another one, then basically you'll be able to get what you need to say, this is a proven method. Let's continue with that. Let's just make it better. Right. So here we're talking about how to set up a curiosity loop, right? So the question is if you say how to lose weight in 10 days, will that have the same effect as saying I lost 50 pounds in 10 days? Which one give you which one pick your curiosity the most, right? That's what this portion of the curiosity loop is trying to explain. Let me do something real quick now that I'm here. I want to see if I'll change it to this. Sorry about going back to the video now. Right. So now based upon that, right, look at the on the agenda. I think I spaced that on the video, right? You know, how I got 200,000 plus view into exactly 28 days, right? So that's kind of that's a curiosity loop, right? You might say, well, that's not enough for me, in which case it will be fine. Or you might say, oh, I don't have 200 view in 28 days. Let me see what happened. Let me see if I'll learn something. And that's what I'm hoping that someone is curious enough to click on the video, to click on this information. I want to know more. Back to the video. Right. So right now there's a lot of information out there, and they would tell you stop doing this setting if you want to get more views. So you see this kind of title. It's called the risk aversion title of curiosity loop, because obviously you want to do things right. You want to improve your channel. You want to improve the number of views that you get. So if one says, hey, look at this particular feature and I stop doing this because you're killing your growth, you might say, I want to see what that is. You may not agree with it after you see it, but at a minimum, the question is, did that pick your curiosity for you to use it on your next video? So, like for example, I'm working on the next installment of this video, right? Which is which I'm going to start doing the editing pretty soon. And the video itself has a small introduction at the beginning of the channel, at the beginning of the video. So here you go. This is very very small. So I'm gonna have to fix the audio a little bit because I think it doesn't match the rest of that. But I want to introduce this video as part of a larger series. So I added my avatar and I added my voice. This is not my voice. This is a regular voiceover. Let's see what's going on. So, like I said, this transition may be a little loud. Let me see if I could just fix it a little bit now that I'm here. You see how this is much louder than the rest, and that you have a gap here at the beginning. So if you're doing the editing, you go here and let me do a quick cut here. And I'm gonna do a ripple cut because I'll bring it in. And right here, there's another place is slowing down a little bit. I'm gonna do another ripple cut. Ripple cut, what it does is different than just a cut. Like for example, if I do just a cut, let's see what happens. You see, it leaves a gap in there. So you don't want that. So if you're doing cut that you want the video to stay together, you do a ripple cut and it brings it all together. You see that? Now, this is a still image, which is fine, which is what I wanted, right? So let's take a look at it real quick right now. So how this piece of introduction here is a something like a 4 seconds, maybe introduction. How it introduces the video for the next series. So you see that kind of jumps from one section to another, like a quick introduction. And if I want to change the audio, I just click over here on the inspector, and I'm able to set the audio, make it smaller, meaning that I see that matches the rest of the stuff there, I think. So I go here and normalize it. It's another way of doing it. Control, normalize the audio. I don't want it to be, I think it's too much. Let's see, normalize audio level. I think it was at 15. You could do it here, or you could do it here, right? So here was a 9, -9. Here was -13, so you could kind of make it there. And make it match a little bit more, a little better. And if you want to make it go faster, what you do is you continue to cut in this, where you had this space like this. And you continue to do ripple cut or ripple delete, either or. And even this one is a little slow right in here. Right. And the other places you could cut if you want to. This is not the editing part. What this is saying basically is you don't want to have long introduction. And the way you don't have long introduction is basically by cutting spaces that there's space between between your intro and by doing that, what happens is basically you'll see now it's a little faster. See, that was a 4 seconds introduction. So that's basically what we are saying. What we are saying right here in this video, to have a short introduction. Let me see if I could go back a little bit. So a 20-second logo, 20-second introduction. The one that I just showed for this video was 4 seconds. So you want something short and sweet to get you right into the topic at hand. Right. So the dopamine is basically, look at the title, How I Got to 200K Views. And it's like the 28 seconds. So, wow, 1% creator. Wow. So your people get excited over that. But that only is going to get them to click on your video. Doesn't mean they're going to stay. You have to, let's say it's called high dopamine title. But in reality, what you want is them to stay on and stay within your video. So that's why you're providing some quality to what you're doing. So besides just doing that, you have five different strategy that you're talking about in the video, in addition to talking about the a system for getting those things completed. So it's not only yes, hook them up with the title, hook them up with the thumbnail, and hook them up with a hook, but then provide some value so that they will be able to stay throughout the entire video. Talking about in here, right? And all this cut that we just did to show the pardon, to be able to show how quickly we could get the information out. We changed this little set of clips in here from about 10 seconds to 4 seconds. When it started, it was about 10 seconds long. We changed it. Let me see if you could see the difference physically. You'll be able to see the difference physically in a second. That's good right there. So you see this video right here, right? It started, I think this is just the way that it looked initially. You see all that? So all that was cut from here to here. Almost half of the clip was cut, basically. So you don't want to just dump video into your editor. You want to kind of just get rid of things and look at all that dead space here, 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 and there, right? So that's what I mean by fast cut the information to provide a video. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the main video. I just had to listen to it again and a couple of more times and be able to know where to cut. Like for example, a natural cut would be where you see the information is changing. Like from here, it's changing to something else right there. Right. Let's keep going. Right there. So what you want to do basically is you want to cut what is a natural progression of the video, and you want to be able to basically be able to have those areas that you say, okay, I could make changes on that. You could add title, you could add fast drag, you could add flash information, you could add additional text to it. And that's what you want to do when you get to that portion of the video. Okay. So let's go back to this. Okay. So let me go back. That's what we were talking about, fast dopamine title. Let's see if I got it on the right spot. And you see this one here have no subtitle, right? So that's something that I had to fix when I get to the editing here. I had to be able to reprint the video with subtitle, which may not be fun, but it's something that I want to do. So that's what you check on your video. And right now, like I said, this was a post that I did tonight so that we could sort of together look at the first draft video from last night. Last night we talked about how to create how this 1% creator framework works. What was the outcome of that, and basically the 5 pillars that it took to implement that. So last night was basically a discussion how we do it. I mean, what is it? How we get there, and some proof that it had kind of worked. But today was how do we get all that information into a video so that we could kind of maintain that portion of the script into a narrative that's out there, into a video that's other people could watch. Obviously, not everyone's going to watch the live event, but the video tend to stay there for a longer period of time, and people tend to want to go over and want to be able to get more and more information. So that's why we're doing that. So let's go back to the video. I'm going to put it back a little bit so we don't lose track of where we are. Right, and that's one big difference between the live event to basically the video, right? Because in the video, you had to pause, you had to think as you're going through it, and the thought may not be at one continuous thought all the time. I know there are some people, they pre-record the live event so that they kind of sound professional and they have no pauses on what they are doing. But it's not really a live show. Does that really give you an opportunity to comment when people post comments in there? So it's sort of a give and take, right? I prefer to provide the raw information. I prefer to be right on live. I prefer to be able to interact with the people, the viewers, the stakeholders, everybody. So I prefer to do that rather than just kind of to have a pre-record information about it. So that's just what. So one of the changes that I'm going to make, basically, I got to put it over here so that I remember that it would be the subtitles. I have to go back and subtitles. It was missing. Although I had them last night, but when I made a change. I made a voiceover change. It wiped away the subtitles, so I had to go back and redo that. And unfortunately, you had to keep doing, you had to do and redo some of the work because you make one change and then it has a ripple effect and it changes other things. So let's continue on. That again was another curiosity loop. Listen to it, right? One more time. Now listen to this. You hear that? So that's you want to know, okay, what is it? So what's the answer? Shoot, put it on mute. See, meaning on the payoff, meaning later on the video, right? So he doesn't give you the answer. He kind of gives you create a curiosity loop that will keep the viewers watching for a longer period of time. So not only do you have the hook at the beginning of the video to kind of set the tone for the rest of the video, you want to have built-in curiosity loops throughout the video so that when people are about to drop off, you say, "Oh, what is that? Oh, what's the answer to that?" So basically, that's what you want to do time and time again. Right. So pillar five. So if you went back to what we were doing, right, we said there were five pillars. And as you see, I have been going through each one very methodically on the video, like I did last night. I kind of went through each one of these in detail. And basically, now we're into the final one, which is the monetization portion of that, right? So it's important that you kind of give the viewer a roadmap. So when they are watching, they say, "Oh, I know there are five, or five is the last one." So they're expecting that the video will end sometime soon. Before I get to that, I know that I mentioned like the $5 billion funnel, but people like Mr. Beast could make those kind of claim. I kind of said it and then I said, "Oh my God!" So uh, the, not everybody gets the same result in YouTube. So this is not like a YouTube is not a get rich scheme. It requires a lot of hard work. The term uh, billion funnel is an aspirational goal, meaning is you would like to get to that, have a funnel worth of videos versus idea that will funnel into a monetization that will make you money, right? So that's why it's an aspirational statement rather than a factual statement. It's another curiosity loop. So that's something that I tested on my channel. And if you use outliers and you kind of make the tweak changes that we recommended, you will see a result. Mine says 40%, you could be 30, you could be 100 or 1,000%. So it varies per individual. It varies per the niche that you are in. It varies per the video that you have selected. So those numbers that I'm quoting, they are just generic in terms, but the experiment that we conducted shows that there is a correlation between using outlier videos, tweaking it to making it better, and getting additional views. There's a correlation that's undeniable. So the percentage of that is something that might change with the information with the variable that you select, and that is the key right there. If you improve 1% every time you create a video, every time you post something, you eventually become a master and you'll be able to do it better and get better results, right? Now, and every video, if you do it as part of a package, right, you, you kind of begin to say, okay, I want to do this video to test a particular title or set of titles or type of titles. I want to do this video to test a type of thumbnail, right? One of the most peculiar one, I basically, if you look over here, is it has a face of an individual. Last night I spoke whether you want your face to be part of the thumbnail and be recognized as the creator of the video. Some people like that. I tend to use random faces because I kind of, if I see my face time and time again, my question is that the best strategy? Now, and as you see here on this thing, I do use my avatar for the introduction of this video. And in the video itself, although those kind of doesn't sound the same, it's a little bit synthesized. That is my voice that you guys are listening to. Not on the first part, but actually on the second part. This whole video that you are watching, my voice have changed a little bit because of something that happened to my voice. But in reality, you are listening to my voice, at least the avatar that's using my voice for the rest of the video. So that's what you want to do. You want to personalize it as much as you possibly can. And that's important. That's part of the 1% improvement. It's part of the 3% tweaks that you make to the video. So that's a part of a curiosity loop that we delivered earlier, right? So we're saying, as promised, here's the answer that you were looking for, how to re-engage your audience, etc., right? So not only do you create a curiosity loop towards the end, and you can see here, we are down to what, 26 seconds to go out of a almost a 7-minute video. So you get that you get the answer that you promised them at the beginning. So you don't just make promises that you don't deliver. You create curiosity loops, and then towards the end of the video, you go ahead and you basically deliver the what you promised. So this is another curiosity loop. You say, hey, I gave you an answer, but by the way, you're not going to believe what happened when you do X, Y, and Z, right? Now I may not have the automation in there, but let's see what we do. So basically, this is not the video, of course, But so in that video, what I have to do, which I thought I couldn't do it because I couldn't say the work, but I had to add what is called a end screen. Right, I try to do it before the video posted, but for whatever reason, YouTube, see that it's giving me an error message, and this doesn't allow me to save the end screen, which I actually had scheduled to post here. When once you saw this over here, instead of watching, see, once you instead of having this random video here, my goal was to have an end screen that would post my video, so you could just click on it and go to the next level. So that's basically what we have for tonight. And what my plan is, right? I have posted several videos in the series, so it's okay. I don't have to discard my changes. I posted several videos on my changes, like right here, about the channel being vanishing, the trending on the video, which is coming out on the 10th. It's 3 days from now. Outliers. This video right here is specifically talking about outliers. So I'm going to create a series that actually put together this series of video into a single video. And that's why I started tonight. I started doing this right here. So this is the first video that I'm going to start the process. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the second video here with a small introduction, and put a series like around maybe a 30-minute video that has the masterclass that contains all of the information that I've been compiling the last couple of days. But the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this video because of the fact that it doesn't have a thumbnail. Doesn't have subtitle. So I'm going to try to replace this video tonight with another video. Got to go back to my video maker and be able to ask it to do thumbnail, not thumbnail, what I just said, asking to do that, the subtitle, because I could do it, but I could do it manually, but that takes a lot of time. I'm going to have the system generate it. And that's what you want to do. Sometimes you start working in a project and you say, oh my God, it didn't work for me. So what you have to do is, let me see if I could just find it real quick. To give you an idea what I'm talking about. It's easy to talk, right? But it's kind of hard to demonstrate. So for this, I use video AI. So I got to see again, for whatever reason, my system is very slow tonight. It could be the internet. So I'm going to stop it. I was trying to do some introduction with that. So let me go back, see if he will stop it. If not, I have to get it restarted. I'm probably going to just get it restarted. And I'm going to see if I'm able to pull the last video that I had. There we go. So 3%, this costs 3% tweaks. So the last thing that I did on that says I used my voiceover, as you see right there. But then it kind of got rid of the, see, you're going to say add. Let's see, what do I want to do? Add what? Thumbnail, no. Subtitle. So once you change the voiceover, we actually got rid of the subtitle. So now I have to ask him to do the subtitle. Probably going to charge me, but it doesn't matter. You have to have subtitles. So that's going to take a little bit, unfortunately. I'm going to go back to talk about the different videos that we collected on that. So hopefully, I have a live show that I did for the same topics, right? As you see, so basically what I do is I do a live show, I collect the data and I show exactly what my plans are. And then after that, I will go ahead and create a video that support, like this video right here was based on the agenda that I have for yesterday. So if you attend one of my live classes, you get the complete unabridged set of information that is later on is later used to create a script, and then you get to be live modifying the script, and then we'll create a draft for the video. And once the video is created, we could preview it like we did tonight, and then after that, we could come and do some editing based on what the information that we gather, and you get to see my mistakes. I make mistakes. Shoot me. If you don't make a mistake, you are perfect. And I guess perfection is not something that we're striving for. We want to get better by 1% every time, but not to the point that we are deemed to be perfect, right? So let me see. I think he just did it. Let me see if subtitle will show up. See that? Oh, come on. So we got the subtitle, we got my voiceover, my avatar voiceover. So now we could say download the video. Since you're probably gonna charge me something. So now it's perfecting the video on the system. And if you look up here in this area, you should be able to see a way for it to. Huh, what's going on? Give me a second. It looks like looking at the master video. It looks like I don't know what I'm showing. It should be showing the entire screen. No, yeah, it is. Hopefully, it changed. Yeah, it did change now. So, for sometime when I change from one view to another, sometimes it freezes. Unless I'm looking directly at the live feed that coming out, I don't really know what's gonna see. I could see it right now that the changes occur. So hopefully we didn't miss a lot. What I was talking about basically was we did the life of me almost getting tired. We did the subtitles to the video. Now the video is getting ready to be printed. I see got 92% rendering. You got 100%, so you do a download. That white screen minute telling you that it's going to be downloaded. It takes a few seconds once you do that to be able to perfect it. Like I said, the video that we looked at, which was this one here. If we go back to it, I'm gonna go back a couple of frames. See, it doesn't have subtitle. It doesn't have any subtitles. So when you create, and that's something that's really common when you create anything, a script, a video, a thumbnail, you think it's perfect, but you have to take a look at it to ensure that it contains all of the elements that you want. And if it doesn't, then you have to change it. Let's see. That's the video right there. It takes a little bit for it to becomes a video. So it's downloading the information right now. So in a few minutes, we're going to come back and we're going to see the video. And then I'm going to be able to show you the subtitles. And then we're going to replace the video that we have online, because I don't want to do a lot of editing on that video when in reality, it's not going to be what we need, right? So that's important. So we'll come back to this in a few minutes And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace this video right here. I'm going to move it aside. So you'll be able to see when I drag and drop the other one, then we're able to delete this one. And the introduction remains the same because there's no need to change that. You'll be able to see that in a few minutes. Okay, so let me go back over here. Still nothing yet. And what we want to do based upon this here is that we want to come up with figure out which of this actually is the best system that matches the Masterclass instruction that we provided. Like, for example, how to find training video. That might be the next one, right? Because that's the order that we did it. And then the edit portion probably will be the last one. It will be matching pretty much the order that we have here. We're going to add foundational and packaging kind of information at the front. Scripting is going to be in the middle. Editing is going to follow that. And then finally, the monetization video will be here. So that's what we're going to try to accomplish the next couple of days. And what you will do is you will kind of see what we are doing live. If you're interested in seeing how things are packaged and do together, because remember the concept that we did was you create a series of video, and this series of video are in the same venue, right? I know they seems to be a little bit away from my channel of feeding the veterans, but in essence, you have to know what you're doing in order to be able to get videos out there. So what I'm trying to show you is the process that I go out there and gather the video, and hopefully what I have, I've been collecting in different folders. So then I'm able to, and the one that I'm using is one right here, and that's my avatar folder. What I'm doing is I'm building that library so that basically I'm able to put it together into one cohesive video. So I'm able to post that and do potentially I'm not sure that I'll be able to do a preview because it will be a long video, be like multiple hours. Maybe we'll do it in a couple of days. I'm not sure. But we'll be able to see the masterclass in its totality, and we'll be able to make comments on that. So right now, the key will be to get this video with the, this is yesterday. No. Yeah, to get this video, this is just something else over here. So we're gonna have to just wait. Maybe we don't do it or live tonight, but basically, if it doesn't come up in the next few minutes, what I'll do is I'll terminate the live feed, and I do it offline. And basically, what I would do is I will be able to when we together tomorrow, I'll be able to show you that basically what's going on. But basically what we did, if you see, I could demonstrate it right now. Look at the one that I show you, right? The one that I show you here has no subtitle. Look, take a look at it. Actually, let me put it at the beginning. What's going on here? There you go. Right here. You see that? No subtitles. So if you go down to the video that I just printed, see that? So that's what you're gonna see when this video is perfected. So basically, oh my God, it's taking forever. So when you see that, then we'll be able to download that into our editing tool, which is DaVinci AI, and replace this section of the video with the new one, and it'll be really easy to do. I wish I could show it to you tonight because it's a wonderful thing to do. So we're going to talk for the next 5 minutes, and if it doesn't come online, then basically I'm going to wait until tomorrow. Mañana is another day, so like they say. But hopefully you get a chance to see it. No, it's not going to do it. Okay. So once again, I just want to give you a preview of what's going to happen if you will stick with us through this process. We are going to select from the list that we have posted what makes sense, you know. So if you want to vote on what we're doing next, the Masterclass is the one that we just posted, so it kind of gives you an idea. It's an introduction to everything. We have how to find what's trending on YouTube, how to edit, upload a video on YouTube. That's probably not a good one. The new rule, deleting YouTube channel, that's probably something good for the end. Unlimited ideas, what to do after posting, how to title, thumbnail, and a script. So if you have any a sense of what you want to see next as part of the second video, it's already on my channel, so you can look at the video individually. But if you want it to be part of the package that we present, and just leave me a note on the comment section. I read every comment, I read everything, and I'll get back with you on that. And also, I might even sign up to your channel if you do that, because usually I like to get comments. People that comment on my videos, I usually go back and look at their channel, and if you need a subscriber, I will subscribe. And if you need comments, I usually will add comment to your videos as well. So thank you for joining us tonight. It was a very interesting experiment. And basically, it was great to have you guys here tonight. But as you could tell, it's not cooperating tonight. So I had a little bit of music in the background for you guys to enjoy while you were waiting, but it was no avail. The system is torturing me tonight. That being said, I am going to terminate the live feed right now. Good night, everyone.